Hi, Tiffany Allen here from DynamicPoint. Today we're going to take a peek at our Office 365 apps for a vendor portal. So here at DynamicPoint, we build SharePoint business automation solutions that help expose information directly from your ERP. And in today's case, that'll be via a vendor portal. So what we're going to get started with is some of the benefits of Office 365 and SharePoint Online. Here at the very top, you're going to see a banner. It highlights we're logged into Office 365 or SharePoint. That's one of the first elements that allows you to highlight the configuration, the configurable nature of the product. This top banner or ribbon, you can completely hide. That way when your vendor logs in, it can all be unique to the experience you want to deliver about your organization. You can certainly update logos, color schemes. These call to action buttons, these are brought to us by what's considered a modern site. That's a particular theme that SharePoint gives us, so you can utilize imagery to really drive home exactly how you want your user to navigate the portal. But you can update this. You can update the images and the text overlays that are on top of it. So in this instance, we're going to be, the most prominent thing that we want to highlight is that the vendor can log in and confirm status of purchase orders and even update them as well. Some other elements that we highlight are submitting invoices, W-9s. They can view invoice status here, as well as more information about their company, their profile. And one other nice feature that SharePoint delivers to us is a seamless integration with Power BI. So if you've got some really visually powerful reports that you've developed to help manage your relationship with that vendor, you can integrate these directly into the portal. Lastly, SharePoint gives us just some out-of-the-box features that are really nice for a portal. Document sharing. As that vendor logs in, make sure anything that's appropriate to managing your relationship with the vendor is right there, easy for them to access versus them having to sort through email or their own file share. They also have a news feed, so that news feed can be utilized to highlight holiday hours, new product information, training materials, whatever you deem most necessary to manage that relationship. One other element I want to highlight before we hop out of kind of the benefits of SharePoint and why we utilize it for the portal is that it's mobile friendly. Alrighty. Here I'm just displaying my mobile phone for us so you can see exactly what that portal looks like. We just saw the desktop view, but now we can take a peek at the mobile. It's got all those call to actions. You can sort through them. You can get to the sub-navigation in terms of managing the company information and profile. Those Power BI reports pull directly through, as well as that newsfeed and document. Obviously, you can drill into each of these, but I just wanted to highlight what it looks like, the rendering for a mobile device. Obviously, depending on whatever device your user is utilizing, it will render itself, resize it specific to that device. So here I'm highlighting a mobile device. The same concept applies to a tablet as well. Well, let's get back at it. I'm back to the desktop view. One other element I want to highlight is security. In today's case, top right-hand corner here, I'm logged in as the DynamicPoint demo account. DynamicPoint demo has been associated to one particular vendor in my ERP, and that's Max Cooper Consulting. So here, as I drill into Max Cooper Consulting, there's a couple elements of information I'm highlighting about the vendor account. I can also drill into it and supply additional information. Not only supply additional information, but potentially allow them to make updates or changes. You probably don't want them to update their vendor number or name, but maybe they have an address change. They have a new email. But some other things you may not want them to access or update is payment terms and their delivery method. So this is all configurable. You can determine which fields of information you want to expose back to the vendor and which one of them you want to put in a read-only status versus an edit status. Additionally, you can establish a one-to-one relationship for that vendor or a one-to-many. So if you have multiple contacts at a vendor and you want all of them to be able to access the account information, they certainly can. Now with our application, you have the ability to configure as many services as you wish. What I mean by services is as much information you want to retrieve from the ERP as possible. Purchase orders is one that we hear is near and dear to most people's heart when they're talking about a vendor portal. So here are all the purchase orders specific to Max Cooper Consulting. This is what we consider a grid view here. You can filter on any element of this grid view. If you wanted to filter by status or an order date, you certainly can. But you also can configure what data you want to show in this view. If the requested by date is not something that you think is relevant, you certainly don't have to expose that. You can choose other elements from the ERP that you want to expose in this view. You also can drill into an order directly within this view. So on this particular one here, PO 10, 60, 40, there's two different line items. So we can see those line items directly from this view. You can even print from here. So for some reason, as you log into the portal, you want to make sure you share one particular PO with somebody else in your organization. You can print that PO. Obviously, it pulls it up as a PDF directly on your computer. You can save it to your machine, forward it on, or simply just print. Another key element is being able to edit a purchase order or even view more details. So as I click view and edit, it's going to drill into that PO at an even greater level. And you can discern, again, at this view as well, what information is most relevant for the vendor. How much detail do I want to highlight or show? In this instance, I want to update the expected delivery date. They requested it for the 25th. We had said it was going to be on the 19th, but actually we can get it out on the 17th. You have the ability to acknowledge that PO. I think it already was. So in this case, we're just going to update that expected delivery date. As I hit update, that is our trigger to a real-time integration directly back to your ERP. So we see back here in the grid view that that date was updated to the 17th. That's been triggered and updated directly in your ERP application, but also we can trigger notifications and even workflow back to people within your organization, notifying them that that expected delivery date was updated to the 17th. We can notify the vendor, notifying them that we're aware, just confirming for them any updates that they made in the portal. But we can also utilize Microsoft Flow to kick off a workflow. If you need people within the organization to review and confirm acceptance of any of those updates or changes that are reflective in the portal, we can certainly accommodate that as well. One other service I want to show to you guys is the Invoices. And in terms of the use case for a vendor portal, it's obviously highly advantageous to be able to confirm for them any open and those historically paid invoices, so you can curb the number of calls back into your finance department, so you can quickly allow them to review invoice status, payment information. Absolutely. The last element I'm going to highlight for you is the integration directly back to your ERP. Obviously, I can only integrate with one ERP in my demo environment here, but let's go ahead and pull up that Max Cooper 10, 60, 40 purchase order and highlight for you that we've already updated that expected delivery date of the 17th. So in summary, here at DynamicPoint, we are actually establishing a secure connection to an on-premise or a cloud ERP data utilizing the power of OData or REST web services. So while I highlighted an integration just to one ERP, we have the flexibility to extend and as well as update information directly back to your ERP. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us at dynamicpoint.com. Thank you.